in Bhagavad Gita 1.15 में. Okay, let's put this on the screen so that So we discussed all of this, right? Sounded the transcendental concept. And then we discussed verse 1.15, Panchajanyam Rishikesha. So we discussed what Arjun's name is Dhananjay, and why he was called Dhananjay, because he was the acquirer of wealth for all of his brothers. Yeah. So Maharaj Yudhishthira had to do a Vishwa Samrat Rajsuya Yagya to establish himself as the emperor of the entire world, and hence he needed a lot of wealth, and Arjun helped him in acquiring all the wealth. So yes, and that's why his name was Dhananjay. And we also spoke about Bhima, and then we understood how Krishna got his counsel. What is Krishna's counsel's name? Panchajanya. So Panchajanya was a demon. So Krishna killed the demon, and then he got the counsel, and hence his counsel's name is Panchajanya. What do we understand from this slide that is displayed on the screen? Correct. We need to have a guru. Krishna did not need to have a guru, but Krishna did this so that we can understand. Yeah. So Krishna also came and he also took shelter of a guru. Guru सबके जीवन में जरूरी है. ऐसा कोई है नहीं कि जिसमें हम बिना गुरु के भी हम कर लेंगे. So it will not happen. It will not work. So guru is important. Guru is important in everyone's life. Okay. So yeah. And so we had a story of how Krishna got the thing. Okay. And then we said Arjun's counsel was Devdatta. And that's where I think we stopped. Yeah. So we will continue from that point onwards now. Arjun's counsel is called Devdatta. So behind this counsel also there is a story. And so we will quickly discuss that story. Arjun के counsel को Devdatta नाम कैसे पड़ा, who gave the counsel to him and things like that. So once the Pandavas were in exile, once upon a time when the Pandavas were in exile, Srila Vyasadeva visited them. Okay, and then Srila Vyasadeva visited and he met Yudhishthira Maharaj. And he told Yudhishthira Maharaj, I know the atrocities that have been dawned on you by the Kauravas. So what I will do is I will give you a special mantra. Okay, a special mantra called. So with this mantra, one can travel very fast by the speed of the mind. And this mantra is called the Pratismriti mantra. So I will teach you this mantra, and you in turn will have to teach this mantra to Arjun. And using that, Arjun can then go and get various weapons. So we mentioned that. Okay. Haribol. So that will take behind. इकडेच वाचता येतं म्हणून. So Pratismriti mantra. So Srila Vyasadeva, then he taught that mantra to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was thinking that if I teach this mantra to Arjun, he will quickly go away from here. So he was like, he did not want that viraha, he was very attached to Arjun and even all the other Pandavas. But he knew that the war was coming close. A war was about to happen and he needed all the weapons. Arjun needed those special weapons which were only available at Devlok. And one can't just travel to Devlok this way. So you need special power, special mantras. So then Yudhishthira Maharaj, he did the initiation ceremony. He did the initiation ceremony, and with proper ceremony and sanskars, he gave that mantra to Arjun. And then, so So that mantra was given to Arjun with proper ceremony, yajnas was done. And then Arjun, he bid farewell to all the Pandavas, and then he moved towards the mountains. He started getting higher. So the mantra speciality is that when you chant that mantra, then you can approach, you can travel at the speed of the mind. What is the speed of the mind? You can quickly think, okay, let's think about somebody back in India, mother, parents. He reached there, right? That is the speed of the mind. So with the speed of the mind he was traveling, and he traveled towards the Mandar mountains. And towards the Mandar mountain, it took him 1 full day to reach the Mandar mountains, even while traveling with the speed of the mind. So can you imagine then how far the Mandar mountain is? And it is still in this particular universe only I'm talking, this particular planet only I'm talking. So that is how there are so many other planets and so many other places. Can you see that screen? Otherwise you can sit here. So he reached the Mandar mountains, and then he saw the residence. It was a very beautiful place, and he saw the other residences of the higher planets like the Siddhas and the Charanas who were sporting there on the slopes of the mountain. So he saw various other residents there. Then Arjun even kept on going higher and higher towards the plateaus. And then the beauty there was like, it was like awesome, very, very, it just dumbstruck Arjun, and his breath was taken away, the beauty around. And then eventually he came, and Arjun meets a Brahmana there. A Brahmana was sitting there, and the Brahmana tells Arjun to stop, and he says, Arjun, you can't go beyond this point, because here all peaceful people live. There is no need for your bow, arrow and everything. So you just discard your bow, arrow here, and you also come and sit here and sit peacefully. And then Arjun told that Brahmana that, look, I am here for a reason. I am here to collect the weapons for my brothers. Great atrocities have dawned on them, especially Yudhishthir Maharaj and my other brothers and my dear wife Draupadi. So I am here to collect weapons from the Devatas. And I can't discard this bow and other things like the way you said. So even I am peaceful, but I need help. And then he said, then that Brahmana, he revealed his true identity. And he said, I am Indra. I am none other than Indra. And Arjun then pays obeisances to him. And Indra says, I am happy that you are still, you have not forgotten your vow to collect the weapons. So I will give you all those weapons. But before that, you have to take permission from Lord Shiva also. You also have to satisfy him. So then Arjun, he starts meditating, he sits there. So Indra goes, and then Arjun sits there upon those places, and then he meditates on Lord Shiva. And it's a very, very big story given in Mahabharata. Like in the first month of his meditation, he eats only fruits every 3rd day. And then on the 2nd month, he ate fruits every 6th day. And then in the 3rd month, he ate fruits only once a fortnight. And the 4th month, he lived only on air, standing on the tips of his toes with his arms upraised, like this way, arms upraised, I say. So he did lot of austerity. And then because of the austerity, Arjun began to glow like the sun. And even in the heavens, the celestial rishis grew anxious. But anyone who does tapasya, then the people in the heavenly planets, they will get anxious. ये इतना तपस्या कर रहा है, मेरा position भी जाएगा. Whose position will you take? Na? The moment you do tapasya, then you get a promotion. Na? So Shiva will become satisfied. Then somebody can ask boon, and then anything can happen. So people from the higher planets grew anxious, and so they approached Shiva, and they said, this Arjun is meditating on you. Can you please end this meditation here now and go and give what he wants? Because with the way he is doing this austerity, he has the power to upset the universal order. So then Shiva replied, you need not feel anxious on this Falgun. Shiva calls him as Falguni. Falguni is the name of Arjun. What is another name of Arjun that we know from this same shloka? Dhananjaya, acquirer of wealth. Krishna also calls him Pārtha. Pārtha means son of Pritha. So Falguni is also a name of Arjun. Falguni. We had a boy coming here, Falguni, isn't it? Falguni. And there was a friend of yours coming, Falgun. Falguni or Falguni? Falgunta. Used to come. So that's the name of Arjun. So this way, Shiva said that I know why he is doing this, the purpose of his meditation, and I will satisfy him today. And then Shiva then assumed a form of a tall, powerful, golden-hued hunter, and he descended to the place where Arjuna was meditating. And Uma Devi, his consort, also accompanied him in a similar costume. And then there are many of his goblin followers. Everyone is following him. Shiva has many other followers. So Shiva appeared on the mountain, and at that same time, a demon in the form of a boar, a demon, Asura, उसने बोर का फॉर्म ले लिया, demon in the form of a boar, he came there and he started running towards Arjun. So even Shiva saw him and even Arjun saw him, both saw at the same time. And Arjun also removed his bow arrow and he also was about to shoot, and Shiva was also about to shoot, and they both shot. And then Shiva, so that boar, he got shot by both arrows, one from here, one from there. Shiva shot from this side, Arjun shot from this side. And then Arjun looked at Shivji. He is in the form of a hunter. So Arjun said, "Look, I timely killed the boar." And Shiva said, "No, it was me who killed it. I saved you." And then Arjun said, "No, I protected myself. I saw him too, so I killed him." And so there was an argument. And then the argument, when Kshatriyas have an argument, it ends up in a fight all the time. So Arjun somehow challenged Shiva, and then Shiva said, "Okay, let's fight." So they both started fighting. And the fight took a long time, and obviously Arjun cannot defeat somebody like Lord Shiva. So Arjun was trying various tricks and Shiva was defeating him. And then eventually, but Shiva was also enjoying the fight as such. So, tremendous Ghamasan Yuddha hua. But Arjun slowly he was getting defeated. That arrows and everything started, that unending quivers of arrow, they also started exhausting. And so Arjun was thinking there is something wrong. This personality is a special personality. And then he thought he must be none other than my beloved Lord Shiva. So Arjun quickly he created a shivling from whatever he had there, and he started worshipping the shivling. And the moment he started doing that, then all the flowers started automatically falling, and then the hunter form Shivji gave him darshan and said, "Okay, I am very, very happy with your Kshatriya spirit, with your fighting spirit, and you are worthy of the special weapons that you desired for, due to which you were meditating on me." And so Shivji gave him some special weapons. So he said, "Falguni, today you have satisfied me. There is no warrior equal to you in courage or patience. Oh, best of the Bharata race, your strength is practically equal to mine." And so Shivji lifted Arjun, he embraced the Pandava, and then he gave him his bow arrow back, and then he also gifted him with some special weapons. So he said, "Oh Lord, please." So Pashupati weapon. So there is a special weapon called Pashupati weapon. So Pashupati. So one can destroy the universe with that weapon, So it is a very, very a powerful weapon. And Shivji replied that, "I will give you this weapon. You are capable of holding, throwing and withdrawing it. Not even Indra, Yama, Kuber or Varuna knows the mantra to this weapon. What to speak of any man? However, you must only use it against celestial fighters. The Pashupat should never be released at lesser enemies, or else it may destroy the creator." So then this way Shivji met Arjun and he got weapons. After that Indra also came. At that time from the sky all the devas began to descend. Kuber, Yamraj, Varun Dev, Indra himself all came, and they welcomed Arjun with flowers. Yamraj blessed Arjun with a mace. So Arjun is now collecting different weapons. आगे जाके war होने वाला है, सबको पता है. So Arjun, Yamraj blessed him with a mace. Kuber blessed him with a weapon called Antardhan, which will bewilder and make the enemies unconscious. So even the most powerful of the Asura will become unconscious. Varun Dev gave him the Nagapash, the noose which was difficult to escape from. So this way, different devatas gave different weapons. And then when it came to Indra, Indra said, my chariot and chariot driver Matali is waiting to escort you to my kingdom in the heavenly planets. And I will teach you various weapons there. And so Arjun ascended with the same body into the heavenly planets. Now to go to the heavenly planets, we can't go with this material body. Even in heaven, the devatas have material bodies, but their bodies are different than our bodies. They are meant to last a long time. But Arjun was so pure, very pure in his heart. None of that pagalpan, pride, anger, greed, it was not there. But yes, being Kshatriya, the anger was limited to the Leela of the Lord. So this way. So he could, get up to that heavenly planets. So we all know that heavenly planets are different than the spiritual planets. So even in heaven, one day it will be destroyed. So anyway, so Arjun went there. He learned a lot from Indra, and then he got knowledge of other heavenly weapons there. And Arjun was very astonished. Indra gave him a special vision by which he could see the opulence of the Indra's kingdom. And when Arjun got that special vision, he could see how beautiful that Indralok was. And so much of opulence everywhere. Now when we go to a big mall and all, we see all the lights and we feel how opulent it is. But this is nothing. We can't even imagine how opulent the Indralok or Amravati will be. And then if Amravati and other things are so opulent, then we can just imagine how opulent the spiritual world will be, Krishna's world, where we all want to reach one day. So Indra was very happy, and he gave Arjuna a seat in his darbar, and Apsaras were performing, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, they were doing musical and dance performances. So Arjun stayed there for four whole years according to earthly time. The time difference is a lot. Time goes very slow in the heavenly planets. So here 4 years had passed for the little time that Arjun spent there. So all these devatas gave those weapons, and while he was departing, the devatas also gave him a conch shell. And Deva Deva means demigods, Datta means given. So that conch that was given by the devatas is called as Deva Datta. Hence Arjun's conch shell is called as Deva Datta. So before returning to earth, Arjun fulfilled the mission of the devas. He killed a certain asura called the Nivat Kavachas. And he killed them with his powerful weapons, and he fulfilled the purpose of the devas. So when Arjun came back, he returned to Badrika Ashram, where the Pandavas were at that time. And so this is the history of how Arjun got the name of the conch shell. Okay. So now we will see Bhima. So Sanjay has been describing that Krishna, Arjun and Bhima blew their respective conch shell. Now Bhima's conch shell was called as Poundra. We will not go into that story. And then not only that, there were others also who blew their conch shells. Nakul, Sahadev, they also blew their conch shell. So this is 1.15. Okay. Now we will move on to the next verse. So you may open your Bhagavad Gitas if you have. We will go to 1.16. Actually, so Srila Prabhupada combines these three verses, 1.16 to 1.18. So I'll quickly recite this. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kuntiputro Yudhishthira Nakula Sahadevascha Shughasha Manipushpakau Kashyascha Parameshvashaha Shikhandi cha Maharatha Drishtadhyumno Viratascha Satyaki Chaparajitaha Drupado Draupadyasche cha sarvashah prithvipate saubhadrascha mahabahu shankham dadamukh prathak prathak. So let us read the translation. King Srila Prabhupada translates, King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijay, and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosh and Manipushpaka. The great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadhyumna, Virat, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupad, the sons of Draupadi and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Shubhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. So King Yudhishthir also had his conch shell, Ananta Vijay, and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosh and Mani Pushpaka. So Nakul and Sahadev, okay, let's see, blew this conch shell. So every Kshatriya carries a conch shell. It was a thing from that time, and it was part of the Kshatriya's armory to boost his morale. So he will carry a conch shell along with the other things that other weapons. He will also carry a conch shell. Yudhishthir's conch shell is called as Ananta Vijay, and then we will have a look at Nakul and Sahadev. So very little is generally spoken about Nakul and Sahadev. They were also two of the 5 Pandavas, and they were the sons of Madri, the second queen of King Pandu. So Nakul and Sahadev came from Ashwini Kumars, the twin devatas. And Ashwini Kumars are the doctors or the physicians of the devas. So they begot in the womb of Madri these 2 great sons, Nakul, Sahadev. Now Nakul was known for his incomparable beauty. बहुत handsome था, बहुत very very beautiful Nakul. And Sahadev, who was the youngest of all the 5 Pandavas, he was known for his great wisdom. बहुत ज्ञानी था, बहुत wise बात था, great wisdom. And when that Rajsuya Yajna was of Yudhishthir Maharaj, when the question came up, who should be accorded the Agra Puja or the most prime place of worship for any yajna that happens, then somebody has to do the first puja, Agra Puja. Even in our Kumbh Mela and all that is coming up, there are many akhadas. So there is a sequence in which all the akhadas will do puja. So one of the akhada will get the first preference this way. So the question was raised. So many people and so many Mahapandits were there. So who is going to do the Agra Puja? And then Sahadev at that time, he got up and then he said, he proposed that it's only Lord Krishna is worthy of doing this puja. He is the Supreme Lord himself. And so he proposed that, what do you call, in a meeting you give a proposal, right? And then others accept. So everyone accepted it except for Shishupal. Except for Shishupal. He started blaspheming. वो गाली देने लग गया. ऐसा कैसा? ये चोर है, उच्चक्का है. He gave so many galis to Krishna. And so Krishna, he had promised Shishupal's mother that he will not instantly kill him, but he will give him some time. And I think it was some 100 correct. So when Shishupal had done enough, then Krishna, with his Sudarshan Chakra, he cut off the head of Shishupal at that time. So Sahadev was known to be a very wise man, even wise of the Pandavas, even though he was the youngest. Because of his wisdom, he could speak very wisely in the courts. So they all, this way, all the Pandavas had their own conch shells. Nakul's conch shell was called Sughosh, and Sahadev's conch shell was called Mani Pushpaka. And then there are various other warriors that are mentioned in these 3 verses. And Srila Prabhupada explains that it is important to know briefly about all of them because they are part of the Mahabharata and they are connected. The whole story is connected to Lord Krishna. So it is not a mundane history that we are just repeating for the past 2-3 weeks. Lord Krishna is involved everywhere. And it is also spiritually purifying when we hear these pastimes about all these great warriors. And then also mentioned in this verse is Kashiraj. So Kashiraj was the king of Kashi, and he was the father of three beautiful daughters, Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. It's a tongue twister. Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. So, who were married to King Vichitravirya, the half brother of Bhishma. So this Kashiraj was also is mentioned in this verse. So he was also a great hero, very valiant, and he was so he also passed away in the battle. He was killed, Kashiraj. And then who all are mentioned here? Kashiraj. Then Shikhandi is mentioned. So I thought we'll focus on Shikhandi a bit today, so that you understand the story of Shikhandi. So Kashiraj had these three daughters, Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika. So when he arranged the swayamvars of his three daughters, he did not invite the king of Hastinapur at that time. And so Bhishma got very angry. And so Bhishma Pitama, he went and he captured, what do you call that? He just captured all the three daughters from that swayamvar ceremony. He defeated everyone present in that swayamvar ceremony because it is Bhishma. He is so very, very powerful. And including there were various kings. So one of them was also Shalva. So whom the elder princess Amba wanted to marry, Shalva. So he also defeated Shalva, and he got all the three princesses back to Hastinapur. And then out of these three princesses, two of them, Ambika and Ambalika, married his brother Vichitravirya. That is why he got them here. Now when he came to know that Amba loves Shalya, so he said, okay, sorry, we'll send you back, you go and marry Shalya. And then when she was sent back, and then when she went back to Shalya, Shalya said, sorry, I cannot accept you, because now you have, all of this happened. Even I got insulted, I got defeated by Bhishma. And so some say that, because he was also touched by Bhishma, so that's why I'm not going to accept as a wife. So then Amba again came back and to Vichitravirya and said, okay, you marry now. And Vichitravirya said, no, I can't marry you. And then she went to Bhishma, said, okay, you got me here, you marry. And Bhishma said, I have taken a vow of celibacy, I can't marry you. So then she had an argument with Bhishma, then why did you get me out of the Swayamvar this way? That was incorrect of you. So you better marry me. And he said, no, I can't marry you. So she went to Bhishma's Gurudev, Parshuram, to complain. And then Parshuram understood, and he said, yeah, that is wrong by Bhishma. I will convince him to marry. And so Parshuram also tries to convince Bhishma. Bhishma doesn't, doesn't budge from his vow. For him, his vow is everything. So Bhishma and Parshuram, they had a great battle, great fight. Went on for many, many days without any outcome. And so Parshuram also gives up, and he tells Amba that, sorry, I could not help you. This is not going to happen. So Amba then takes a vow that I am going to kill Bhishma. And it's not possible to kill Bhishma this way. So she takes a vow that I need such a birth where I am able to kill Bhishma. मैं वापस एक जन्म ऐसा लूँगी जिसमें मैं भीष्म को मारूँगी. So with that vow, she meditates, and she goes to a forest and meditates on Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva grants her a boon that yes, in your next life you will be able to kill Bhishma. And the moment he grants her a boon, she immediately sacrifices the current life. Because what is the whole point waiting now, है ना? क्षत्रिय जैसे मैन है, वैसे विमेन भी कम क्षत्रिय नहीं है. देखो इतना जुनून कि तपस्या किया, दूसरा कोई होता तपस्या करके बाहर निकलने का रास्ता बताओ, है ना? बट सो मच ऑफ hot head and hot blood that said, okay, I want to revenge Kshatriya. So in the next birth, Shikhandi was born as a daughter to King Drupad. Drupad had another two. One was Drishtadrumna From that yagya came na Drishtadyumna and Draupadi. But elder to them was Shikhandi. She was born as a daughter first. So when she was born, we'll call it Shikhandi only. When Shikhandi was born as a girl to Drupad, then at that time the rishis mentioned that she is special. You must raise her as a boy, because later on she will become a man. So just treat her as a boy, as a man, and you must raise her that way. So Drupad, since childhood, he never treated Shikhandi as a girl. Shikhandi was always given all the teachings and trainings as a boy, as a prince. Was taught all the warfare, all the weaponaries, everything. And then a time came for Shikhandi's marriage. It was still a girl, but so Shikhandi was eventually married. And when he was married to the daughter of King Hiranyavarna of Dasharna. Hiranyavarna. And when the bride came, and the bride on the first night only came to know that she is not a he. Shikhandi is not a man. So she became terrified, and she went to Drupad, and she said, "What is this?" And Drupad said, "Look, rishis have told that he is going to turn into a man. So, yeah." And so the daughter went back to her father, and the father said, "You have deceived us. We will attack your kingdom." And when Shikhandi came to know all of this, because she was a girl, she went into the forest, very dejected at all of this, and was about to give her a life, when she meets a yaksha. So he meets a yaksha called Stukarna. So this yaksha, he listens to that entire story, and then he says, "Okay, I will lend you." The yaksha is a man. So yakshas and yakshinis, okay, yakshas and yakshinis, these are special empowered living beings, okay. So they are supernatural hote hai. So they are special empowered living beings who can do. They live in the various realms of universe, and the main place of these yakshas is in Patal Lok. So they can do a bit of magic here and there. So this yaksha, Thunakarana, he said, "I will lend you my manhood for one night. I will lend you my manhood for one night." Okay. And he does that. So Shikhandi, for that night, he becomes a man. From a she, he becomes a he. And this, his Sasurji, he sends what do you call that? So there is a special word. So he sends a woman, concubine bolte usko. A woman who is not a wife, but a woman is sent just to test his manhood, kind of a thing. So Shikhandi then, because he is now a he, so the woman confirms that he is a man. He goes back to the kingdom, to that king, his Sasur, and she says, "Yeah, he is a man, no problem with that." So then the king sends his daughter back again, and he says, "You are complaining? He's a woman? No, he's a man. You must go back." And so the daughter comes back. Now, so nobody probably knows all of this story. So that's why I thought we'll discuss. And so what happens is now this yaksha, Indra comes to know. Sorry, Kuber is the king of yaksha. So the Kuber comes to know that one of my yakshas did this, and he gets angry on that yaksha. I mean, you have powers, but this is not how you misuse your power. You lend something and then you take it back. Now you will suffer for this. And he says, now that you have given your manhood, you will not get it back till the time Shikhandi lives on this earth. So that now manhood is given to Shikhandi. So this is how Shikhandi lives the rest of his life as a man. Now come to the war zone. 10th day, Bhishma Pitama is killing all the Pandavas left, right, Pandavas and their armies, left, right, center. Okay, and the war is kind of little bit tilted in the Kauravas' favor. And somebody is asking, so in their meeting, somebody is asking what is to be done about Bhishma Pitama, who can stop him? And then Krishna says, No one can stop him. You all don't have the power to stop him. Till the time he has a weapon in his hand, it can't be done. So something needs to be done too, so that he can keep the weapon down. And then Krishna says the only way he can keep the weapon down is if you present a lady in front of him, because it is against his dharma. So then Drishtadumna, who is the commander-in-chief of the Pandava army, he says, my sister, Shikhandi is there. So then there is a discussion that he is asking Krishna, is Shikhandi a she or he? What do you think? Like, what will Bhishma think? And Krishna says, don't worry, let Shikhandi come on my chariot, and Arjun's chariot basically. And we will let Bhishma decide. And so that's what happens. Could not find a better photo than this. So Shikhandi is on the chariot of Krishna. I mean, driven by Krishna. Arjun's chariot is always driven by Krishna. And so Arjun is with Shikhandi, behind Shikhandi. And when Shikhandi, on the 10th day, he comes in front of Bhishma. And then Bhishma roars towards Krishna, looking towards Krishna and Arjun, and say, you get a woman in front of me on the battlefield? Kya ho gaya tumhare dharma ko? This is adharma. I refuse to fight, he says. And then Krishna, resorts in his calm voice. You see her as a woman. That's because she was born in a female body. But at this stage, she is not a she. She has a male body. And she has learned, and he has learned warfare for his entire life. So he is a qualified Kshatriya, ready to fight in front of you. I see him as a man. So that's how Krishna retorts. And then, but Bhishma still sees Shikhandi as in the form of Amba, because he has that connection. And so he says, no, it's against my dharma to fight a woman. But from a Pandava's perspective, they had done dharma properly. Male ko khada kiya tha udhar samne, and they said, okay, boss, he is a proper Kshatriya. So then Bhishma keeps his weapons down. At that time, Arjun then, Krishna then asks Arjun, and both Shikhandi also. Both shoot now. So even Shikhandi also shoots, even Arjun also shoots. Obviously, Arjun hesitates, but then Krishna gives him a logic, and then he has to hear. Arjun being a ideal disciple of Krishna, he shoots hundreds of arrows and punctures every inch of Bhishma, and that's how Bhishma falls. So this was Shikhandi. Shikhandi was eventually killed when Ashwatthama, he was killed by Ashwatthama when the battle was over. When Ashwatthama killed the 5 sleeping sons of Pandus, at that time he also killed Shikhandi. Okay. So that's about Shikhandi. Satyaki is also mentioned in the Kurukshetra war. Satyaki and Kritavarma were 2 important Yadava heroes. Satyaki fought from the side of Pandavas. Kritavarma joined the Kauravas. Now Satyaki is also noted as an Ayurvedic physician who was an expert in Shalya, surgery, and Shalakya, and ear and nose, Shalakya, eye and ENT specialist, Shalakya bolte. So last year we went to Ayurvedic hospital, so all of these names were there. Shalakya. I did what do you call that? Eye boost treatment. So they created a cup of atta laga de yahan pe aise pura. I was sleeping. It was full of atta, and then they created like a cup, and then they pour ghee and so many other Ayurvedic things, so many things that they poured here, and it was just kept here for some time. And then from here there was something dropping, so Shirodhara. So what a nice time. I was like, wow. So it helps. So our Ayurveda is very, very powerful. It helps if you do these things. It's a very calming effect. All right. So let's get to Bhagavad Gita back, 1.19. So we covered 1.16 to 1.18. We are moving on to the next verse, 1.19. सघोषोधार्थ राष्ट्राणां हृदयानि व्याधारत यात् Nabhascha prithvim chaiva tumulo bhyanunadayan. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So let's read the purport on this one. You have the, if you have this, I'll read the purport. You can watch your, refer to your book, Bhagavad Gita, of purport given by Srila Prabhupada. When Bhishma and the others on the side of Duryodhan blew their respective conch shells, Srila Prabhupada says, there was no heartbreaking on the part of the Pandavas. Such occurrences are not mentioned, but in this particular verse, it is mentioned that the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the sounds vibrated by the Pandava party. Why? This is because Pandavas, and this is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. So one who takes the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one who takes complete shelter, matlab kya? Sampurna samarpan. One who takes the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead has nothing to fear, even in the midst of a big calamity. Kitna bhi bada problem kyun na ho. If you are surrendered to Lord, then there is nothing to fear. Srila Prabhupada explains this. So Sanjay, now who is explaining all of this? This one point, Sanjay is explained to Dhritarashtra. So Sanjay is seeing all of this, and he has, because of his special vision, Sanjay could see properly kya ho raha hai. So when the Kauravas blew their conch shell, he could see, sitting in Hastinapur, he could see, and he was also seeing the Pandavas at that time. And Pandavas, he saw no one was affected as such. But when the Pandavas blew their conch shell, then he saw at the Kaurava side, and Kauravas were like trembling because of the amount of sound and everything. Shattered. ऐसा दिल बैठ गया पूरा, इतना जोरदार आवाज ऐसे. तो Sanjay is seeing all of this, and Sanjay is explaining to the blind Dhritarashtra that if you are by chance, if you are thinking that Kauravas are going to win, इधर इनका पतलून गीला हो गया अभी conch shell सुन के ही. He is indirectly is saying कि it shattered the hearts. So he is also giving indirect hints to Dhritarashtra that don't be under a assumption कि जीतने वाले तुम लोग, बैंड बजने वाला तुम लोग का सबका, ऐसे. So Sanjay is saying all this, and he is saying they are divine shankhas बोलता है, vibrating both in the sky and earth, because they have a special potency as Shakti, and therefore they were able to shatter the hearts of those who were fighting on the side of adharma, ऐसे. So Pandavas were fearless. Why? Because Lord Krishna was with them all the time. So Srila Prabhupada explains, when one becomes an unalloyed devotee of the Lord, automatically one becomes fearless. Unalloyed matlab kya? Alloy matlab kya? Alloy? Mixture of two. So alloy is a mixture of two or more metals. As a science definition, alloy is a mixture of, to be very precise, alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals, and it could also be a metal and a non-metal bhi chalta hai. But an example is a brass is an alloy of zinc and copper. सबको याद है साइंस, जबरदस्त. मैं तो आज पढ़ के आया था. That's good. So brass is an alloy of zinc and copper, तो brass बनता है. So Srila Prabhupada says if one is मतलब mix होके brass बना है. But Srila Prabhupada says if one is an unalloyed devotee of, unalloyed मतलब क्या अभी, मतलब मिलावट नहीं, mixture नहीं, pure. अगर आप pure devotee of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada कितना perfectly term use कर रहे हैं ना. Very few people can think how to communicate this to the upcoming audience, which is now coming from a science background ऐसा. So unalloyed. So Srila Prabhupada, unalloyed मतलब क्या? Mixture नहीं मतलब मिलावट नहीं, nothing mixed means pure. And when somebody is pure, what does that mean? Full surrender. Purity, how do you determine purity? गोल्ड का प्योरिटी वो वैसे मशीन में करके देखेंगे, बट डिवोटी के लिए जब प्योरिटी बोलते हैं इट मीन्स फुल सरेंडर. फुल सरेंडर मतलब क्या? लाइक डे एंड नाइट आई एम कृष्णा, आई एम योर्स, यू आर माइन, दैट्स इट. बाकी कुछ नहीं. कंप्लीट फेथ, कंप्लीट सरेंडर टू कृष्णा. मतलब डे एंड नाइट वर्शिप ऑफ कृष्णा, थिंकिंग अबाउट कृष्णा. ऐसा नहीं दिवाली आए तो लक्ष्मी के लिए थोड़ा सा साइड में, नहीं. हाँ, एक निष्ठा. ऐसा नहीं कि आज शुक्र और आगे आज माता की चौक की, बहुत लोग नहीं आए आज. ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा नहीं. फुल कृष्णा मतलब फुल कृष्णा. एंड व्हेन यू हैव दैट काइंड ऑफ सरेंडर, देन यू बिकम फियरलेस नो मैटर व्हाट हैपन्स इन योर लाइफ. सॉरी थोड़ा हैवी है, बट a spade has to be called a spade certain times, you know. And we are been meeting since March 2023, 1.5 year होने को आया. So you must understand by now that from this Vyasasana, it will always be, you will always be motivated to go towards Krishna, unalloyed devotion. Unalloyed devotion. That is what is the goal of our life. Till the time we have that little desire कि मैं माँ से भी आज कुछ मांग लूँगी या मांग लूँगा, माता की चौकी आज कि मैं इससे भी कर लूँगा, फिर वो डामाडोल है. फिर that means what? That mixture है. You are a brass alloy. Mixture है. Nothing wrong with mixture. थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा फिर. प्योरिटी नहीं है ना. थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. सो खरा सुनना नहीं है, करेक्ट. सो वी हैव टू ट्राई टू बिकम प्योर, एंड दैट प्योरिटी विल हैपन ओनली बाय वन वे. हाउ डू वी रिमूव द इम्प्योरिटी फ्रॉम द हार्ट? तो उसके लिए एक तो मेटल होता तो उसको लोहे को जला के तपा के एकदम मस्त सारा इम्प्योरिटीज निकालते हैं. तो हमको भी जलाना तपाना है, बट हाउ वी डू दैट टू रिमूव द इम्प्योरिटी फ्रॉम द हार्ट? हाँ, yeah, it is only by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Now with the current situation of the world, you this will become more and more evident. And more such incidents will take place where Srila Prabhupada mentioned there will be no temples later on. Now is a period of 10,000 years of golden era, Srila Prabhupada explained. ये 10,000 years में से 500 years have already passed. So remaining 9,500 years will be the boom of Sanatana Dharma. Temples and everything will still remain. But you got a glimpse in the past few days how temples were destroyed. So as Kali Yuga progresses, how many more years? 4,27,000 point something years are still left in Kali Yuga. So as Kali Yuga progresses, no temples will be there. So the only way to attain Lord in Kali Yuga will be by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Sirf mantra rahega. And the Lord has already invested his entire potency in that mantra. So hence, chanting is the only way of deliverance in Kali Yuga. So now we can get an idea how temples are going to get destroyed. It is already happening in so many places, as I. So very frustrating, and when you're reading the news, very frustrating, and the heart cries out when you see all the atrocities happening and how things are happening. Yes, you had a.
बातों का महामंत्र हो जाए, ये जो किलिंग हो रहा है इसका अपना शांति के लिए, और बाद में महामंत्र.
हाँ 100%. Yes, very nice suggestion. So we will why later on let's chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra now for all the people who are suffering in Bangladesh. Okay. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Haribol. So,
One for the 17-year-old who is missing also.
yes, all right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I wish somebody posted a thing that it is very important that our youth is introduced to Krishna consciousness. Because sometimes when the goal of life is not clear, then kids may take this kind of a rash decision. And then it will cause havoc in the family. But when children are already given the gyan that the goal of our life is to attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the goal of our life is to live our life in a Krishna consciousness way, then people don't think suicide karunga, because you already know by reading in the Shastra, शरीर नहीं आत्मा है, नेक्स्ट बॉडी रेडी नहीं है, सुसाइड करेगा तो भूत बनेगा, प्रेत बनेगा, तो can't do this. Even if there are issues in our life, this is because of my past karmas, whatever is happening in my current life. So children know that. Even if when children fall sick in the devotee community, when people fall sick, everyone knows that this is a reaction that I am getting because of my past karma. It is not that the doctor did something wrong. ये मेरा कर्मा था इसलिए वो इंजेक्शन गलत आ गया इसलिए उसे लगा दिया, right? People think that way very clearly, and this is all because the same doctor who gives medicine to 10 other people, they get cured. That same people tell कि हम अच्छा हो गए, तुम भी जाओ. अब जब हम जाते हैं तब हमको कुछ नहीं होता है. Why? Because हमको we have to suffer the results of our past actions. So when we know this clearly, then it helps to pass through this. ऐसे sometimes people do very बहुत coming to your point, sometimes people do a lot of effort to attain something but नहीं होता है. Why नहीं होता है? और कोई एक अटेम्प्ट में क्लियर कर देता, कोई एग्जाम है, कुछ भी है, बट किसी किसी के लाइफ में बहुत स्ट्रगल होता है, बहुत स्ट्रगल बिकॉज ऑफ आवर पास्ट एक्शंस. द अर्लियर वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट, the better we will come to terms with our own frustration. At least we will not be frustrated. There is nothing wrong in trying, but we will not be frustrated. Yes.
I had heard that while we were talking, the Father mentioned about unalloyed.
Unalloyed, yes.
So my question is that like in we were just discussing that Arjuna went to the other loka and he worshipped Shiva to get the weapons.
Yes.
So when in all of history we see they worship different demigods to get lot of boons.
Yes.
So why in today's life we can't, like we say Hanumanji or Shiva are also like a messengers to Krishna. So why can't we take their shelter also to connect with Krishna? And maybe he can be your guru to connect with Krishna.
Yes, so there is nothing wrong in connecting with Lord Hanuman, but we need to have a clear, we need to have clarity on the difference between gods and demigods. Nowadays, people worship demigods with the thing that, like, I come from Maharashtra, so Ganesh ji ko, it's the topmost. Like, it is as if Ganesh is controlling the entire universe. It is as if our life and death depends on Ganesh. So that understanding is wrong. But there is nothing wrong in giving respect to demigods. We are not saying we should not give respect. So for instance, every day in the morning when I see the Sun Lord, immediately I will, wherever I am, if the moment the sun shine comes and I see it, then I say, Om Adityaya Namah, Om Bhaskaraya Namah, Om Reem Shri Suryaya Namah. My dear Sun Lord, you are the one whom Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to even before Arjuna. Please give me that, you are with that, shine that light on my beja so that I can understand Bhagavad Gita more. Correct? And I'll actually pray this way, that I am a dumb, please shine that light so that I get that intelligence to understand Bhagavad Gita. So yes, we should respect all the demigods. But if I say, sun god, tu hi tu hai, tere upar koi nahi, then it is a problem. So that is what Srila Prabhupada teaches us. That respect all the demigods, because they are in the, for that, to attain that demigod position, they must have done a lot of austerities. It is not easy to attain Indra's position or Surya Dev's position, and Krishna coming and speaking Bhagavad Gita to Surya Dev. What a highest position. So that is the difference. So no problem with giving respect to demigods. Like I recently went to our Puri Yatra also. So there is Ma Mangala temple there. So where Jagannath Pujari will come to Ma Mangala to ask for directions to find the next, where is the next Daru Brahma, next wood, where is it kept. So that Devi has that special power and she will, so the Lord has involved the Devi in giving that direction to her. That way the Lord has also glorified, Lord Jagannath himself has glorified that Devi, that way. So we will give respect. So that way. Did I answer your question? Yes, someone. All right. So, but yes, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, birth, disease, old age, death, उसमें से सूर्य देव नहीं निकाल सकते आपको. उसमें से भगवान कृष्णा, भगवान विष्णु, only they can help. So if your goal in life is to come out of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, then your entire energy should be focused on Krishna. If your goal in life is a short-term goal of attaining some higher wealth or here and there, or you want some opulence and things like that, then there are various other demigods who can give you that thing in the short run. And Shivji is also there. He will also quickly, Ashutosh, jaldi se khush hone wale. And that is why people go to Shivji. Aise. But if your goal in life is the highest destination, the train from here will go all the way to Golok Vrindavan. Some people want to get off at Swargalok. Then the moment the station comes, they will jump off. And then some people will want to go to Brahmalok. वो station पे आके उतर जाएंगे. And then some people will also go towards the Brahma Jyoti. वो station पे अगर गाड़ी रुकेगी तो उधर jump कर जाएंगे. Some people go to Vaikuntha Lok. Somebody wants to go to Ayodhya Dham. Somebody wants to go to Narsingh Dev ka Dham. ऐसा. And then some people want to go to Vaikuntha Lok, happy with Vishnu ji. But some people want to go all the way to Goloka Vrindavan. So वो train भी है. If you are on that train and if your destination is clear, हमको बीच में उतरना ही नहीं है. चाहे ट्रेन स्टेशन पे रुके और बाहर इतना अच्छा दिख रहा है सब कुछ, ऐसा लग रहा है भी उतर जाऊँ. But no, you won't get down. Yes. So it is based on individual आपका individual level जो भी है, whatever you aim for in life. So yes, so 1.19 we see we need to become unalloyed devotees. So unalloyed devotees are never perturbed in any dangerous or difficult circumstances. And then Sanjay now goes on to explain what happens next. So we are now going to 1.20. Atha vyavasthitan drishtva dharta rashtan kapidhvajah pravritte shastra sampatte dhanur udyama pandavaha rishikesham tada vakyam idam aha mahipate. At that time, Arjun, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot, bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra, drawn in military array, Arjun then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. So still now who is speaking? Sanjay is speaking. 1.21 onwards, Arjun will start speaking. So now here we will... Arjun here has been addressed as Kapi Dhwaja. Kapi means monkey, referring to not any ordinary monkey, but the monkey is none other than Hanuman, where we talk. So Bhaja means flag. So Arjun's name is Kapi Dhwaja. Dhwaja means flag. So Arjun's name is Kapi Dhwaja because Hanuman was embossed on his flag. And so we'll quickly understand this story of how Hanuman came on Arjun's flag, and then we will end for today. Okay, because we're already tottering towards the close of time. So he on whose flag Hanuman resides is called Kapi Dhwaja. So how did Hanuman come on to Arjun's flag? So there is a story behind this Pauranik Katha. So once it so happened that the Pandavas were in exile in the forest, and once they were all sitting, and from somewhere a nice breeze came, ठंडे हवा का झोंका आया, and with that झोंका a 1,000-petal lotus came. It flew from the air and it fell close to Draupadi, and Draupadi and all other Pandavas were sitting, and Bhim was also there. And Draupadi and Bhim were there in the forest in that exile. And that lotus came, and the lotus came. Draupadi picked up the lotus and then she smelled. She said, "Wow, what a divine fragrance!" And she looked at Bhim and she said, "Bhim, where did this lotus come from? I need more of these lotuses, and I want to, give all these lotuses to Maharaj Yudhishthira. I want to make him happy. Can you please arrange to get these lotuses?" And so the moment she said this to Bhim, then Bhim always wanted to please Draupadi, because Draupadi had gone through so much in that Dhritarashtra Sabha. So she was already insulted, and Bhim was taking every single opportunity to make her happy. So anytime Draupadi used to say something, Bhim immediately used to, said, "Okay, no problem, मैं करता हूँ." So then Bhim said, "No worries, I will get this thing. I will get the lotus." And immediately he went into the direction of that wind from where that lotus came, and it was up, and so he started going up, and he to the mountains, and it was a full of jungle. He started creating his own way, his own path. I say, and then Bhim kept on going ahead, and a point came when Bhim, as he was going ahead, he saw a monkey in his path, an old monkey sitting there in his path. And then Bhim, actually what happened, while he was going up, Bhim had to fight with some other people. So he fought with some other people in that area, and he came, and then he heard a big thunderous sound, dham dhudum. When he heard that sound, Bhim's heart shattered. Can you imagine? Bhim, उसको डर लग गया, इतने जोरदार आवाज आया. So then he went into the direction of the sound, and as he was going there, he saw an old monkey there, sleeping in his path. The old monkey was just there. And then Bhim said, "Hey, baaju ho jao, chalo, just get aside of my path. You are right in front of my path, so I just want to go." And the monkey said, "This is not a way to talk to an old monkey. You must be a bit polite." And then Bhim said, yeah, okay, just get aside, I want to go." And the monkey said, "No, look, I am a very old monkey. Why don't you just go over on top of me?" And then Bhim said, "No, I can't go on top of you." Why? Why? Bhim said he can't go on top of the monkey. He could have easily jumped and gone. Even we should not go from top of any other person. Why? That's a very, from the bottom of the heart it came. Yes, any other thing? Why we should not cross somebody else? Huh? Disrespect. Very close. Disrespect to whom? Yes. सबके हृदय में भगवान होते हैं, परमात्मा. The Lord as a super soul is present in all of us. So when we jump over on somebody, then we are jumping over the Lord. And it is not a good thing to jump over the Lord. भगवान को कैसे लांघेंगे हम? Right? So then that's the reason we should not jump. And so Bhim said, no, I can't jump over top of you. I can go from the side, but you just give me some way. And so there was this argument going on between Bhim and this monkey. And the monkey said, "Look, I'm very, very old. ऐसा करो, you take that tail of mine and just put it aside and go from the side." And Bhim said, "Okay, this is a good solution." And then Bhim was trying to pick up that tail, and nothing happened. He could not even lift the hair from the tail. The tail was so heavy. And then Bhim knew that something is wrong. This is not a normal, ordinary monkey. But before that, when the argument was going, then the monkey challenged Bhim that you don't have any strength. And Bhim said, "No, what do you mean you don't have any strength? I am the half brother of Hanuman. Hanuman is somebody who actually flew, to Lanka, and he got, he destroyed the Lanka and Ravan and this and that, and he talked so much about Hanuman." And then this monkey said, "No problem, but I don't think you are his brother, because if you can, then you just lift my tail. And then Bhim realized that is not an ordinary monkey. And then he prays and he says, you please reveal your true identity. And then this monkey then reveals and said, Bhim, I am Hanuman, your brother. This way. And then Bhim becomes very happy to meet his brother Hanuman. And then Hanuman actually narrates Ramayana to Bhim in brief of what happened. And he also narrates the exploits of his own army and how he helped Lord Ram and things like that. And then Bhim asks Hanuman that, can I see your Virat Roop, that roop that you took when you crossed the sea? Because Hanuman was small, na? When he had to cross the sea, then Jambavan or somebody, he reminded Hanuman that, Hanuman, you have the power to grow big and then you can cross. So then Hanuman said, look, now you are in Dwapar Yuga. That roop was from Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga also, from Treta Yuga's perspective also, that roop was very huge. If I show it to you now, you won't be able to fathom it. It will be very, very dangerous. So let's not do it. And then, but Bhim was like, okay, you tell me about some other things. Then he says, tell me about all the 4 yugas and things like that. So there was a lot of conversation happening between Bhim and Hanuman. And then eventually again Bhim requested, can I please see that one time only show? So then Hanuman said, okay, I'll show it to you. But then I'm not responsible if you are scared. And then Hanuman then started growing big and big and big and big. And then Bhim, he could just see it. And then a point came and he said, no, I can't see any further. Please stop. Okay, so then this is what happened between Bhim and Hanuman. It's a very big story. When you start reading it, there are very much various details. We can't do everything here. So you must all read. So the similar way that Arjuna was not able to see the Virat Roop of Lord Krishna, similarly Bhim also, he bowed his head down and he said, I can't see anymore. And then Hanuman became merciful over Bhim and he came back to his normal form. And then Hanuman asked me, what boon do you want? And Bhim said, no, this is, Duryodhana is doing so much atrocities on us. And Hanuman said, okay, I will go and kill him, finish matter. So then Bhim said, no, I have taken a boon. I have taken a vow to kill him. Mera vow ka kya hoga? So you don't do anything. We will only do, you give us your blessings. So Hanuman said, I will give you all my blessings, but I will give you one extra boon, he said. He said that then the extra boon is that when you roar in the battle, जब भी तुम उधर कुरुक्षेत्र में जब भी तुम चिल्लाओगे तो तुम्हारा आवाज 10 टाइम एम्पलीफाई हो जाएगा. मैं भी तुम्हारे साथ चिल्लाऊंगा. So every time Bhim you roar in the battle, it will be amplified 10 times more. Even I will roar, and by hearing your roar, the enemy's heart will be shattered. ऐसे ही पतलून गीली कर देंगे वो लोग. इतना जबरदस्त आवाज. And then said, fantastic. So I will be present on Arjuna's chariot because the Lord of my heart is on the chariot. In Treta Yuga, Prabhu Shri Ram came, and then in Dwapar Yuga, the same Ram came as Krishna. So Hanuman said, I will be on your chariot, in Arjun's chariot, in the form of a flag. So that is how Hanuman was present in the entire battle of Kurukshetra in the form of a Kapidhwaja, in the form of a flag on Arjun's chariot, and he was with his dearmost Lord Krishna. This way. So victory was already assured. Krishna was there on the chariot, Hanuman was there on the chariot, and Arjun, the perfect disciple, was there. So what else do you want? The combination is lethal. Hanuman and Ram are victorious against Ravana, so Hanuman and his devoted Lord Krishna also were victorious. So that is how Kapidhwaja, that is how Arjuna is also known as Kapidhwaja. Okay. So we will stop here. Next time it will be 1.21. Now next week, so we'll stop. Next week my Guru Maharaj is coming here. All right. So and then next week is the Vyas Puja, birthday celebration of Guru Maharaj. So it is a live Vyas Puja.